Hey everyone, my name is Carlos Mendoza, Art Director of the Animatronics Division at Spirit Halloween. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California. I moved to New Jersey about 2 years ago to fulfill my role here as Art Director of the Animatronics Division at Spirit Halloween. I've been professionally creating for about 17, 18 years now. I started my career in the collectible diecast. Started doing graphics on vehicles like rat rods, lowriders, trucks, tuner cars. And then I moved into the world of games, mostly like MMO games, online games. And that was a lot of fun. I got to learn a lot of different things. And it's where my passion for concept art actually developed. I worked with a really amazing team there that really kind of opened and broadened my horizons when it came to conceptual illustrations and stuff. And I really learned a lot there. I was able to go from there to the toy world again. And this time it was more for licensing and branding. I was able to work on a lot of product development, consumer goods, for the big companies pretty much. And so it was really cool to see a lot of my stuff on the shelves. It was really fun to kind of see the growth in my career. And I got to work with my China team. It was really fun there because they really introduced me to what real product development was like. And that was really interesting for me because I was able to marry product development and my design, my drawing, my artistic side, and marrying the two worlds. And I was able to kind of learn a lot more about the industry and all that. So it was really fun. It was really cool. And then I moved to New Jersey to fulfill here my role at Spirit, and now I get to design just big giant moving toys. So it's been a really fun journey. I can't wait to see what comes next. So excited. Digital or analog would be a very difficult answer because to me personally, they go hand in hand. I don't think you can have one without the other. I'm going to speak for myself here when I answer this, because I'm sure other artists can maybe have other means of attacking this type of question. But for me personally, a lot of my traditional stuff, a lot of it, and I'm talking about like 4 years deep of traditional work, has translated 100% in my digital work. And I think my digital work has improved so much within the last 5 to 6 years just because of my traditional work. So I think they work hand in hand. I don't think I could have had one without the other. Obviously my traditional work does help my digital work look a lot more believable. I think it's because of the fundamentals. I think I do implement a lot of my sketching. It teaches me patience. It teaches me technique. And there's a lot to that when you're putting a lot of mileage in your pencil, in your sketchbooks, because then it's a lot easier to transition into digital, because now you've done all that work in your analog style, like in traditional work, pencil, markers, whatever. And then when you go into digital, the digital just helps you enhance that like tenfold. So I think they go hand in hand. To me, it's like breathing. You inhale and you exhale. And I think that's the key thing, because you can't have one without the other, or you just won't survive, right? So I mean, it is a hand in hand kind of thing for me. So I would put it at a 80 for 80, south to 60-40. I would say 60-40, because I think they go really much hand in hand. And I do a lot more digital work now, but I would say they definitely have they're both partners in my process. So that's what I would say. I would say I'm an early bird because I feel that's when I'm more productive, early mornings. Night times, I'm already tired. I've gone through the day. It's not too much. But in the mornings, I'm out 5 o'clock, 5:30 kind of guy. So I'm up at my studio here working, drawing. If I have an idea that I maybe had a dream about, or maybe I got a project that I want to get done, I definitely love to be up in the morning around 5. Get a little bit of a workout in, and then just get into my computer, start drawing. By the time 9 o'clock comes in, I already clocked in like 4 hours or so. And so for me, it's it's the productivity that I get in the morning. So I think I'm an early bird. 100% I'm an early bird. Yeah. I mean, I can't do night times. I just can't. My only top three, I would say metal, hip hop, and reggae. That's it. Hands down. I get inspired by people that push the envelope of things, people that are willing to not conform to what everyone else is doing. That inspires me. Akira, for example, is a good example of an animated movie that has inspired me for years, since I was in high school. And I think that movie really revolutionized what an animated anime or manga could be. You know what I mean? Like they literally brought it to life, and I never seen anything quite like that. And I think that I get inspired by those that have come before me and that have paved the way for creatives to not conform to what's available, but make it happen. If it doesn't exist, create it. I think that's what drives me to push further for inspiration, and push further is to see how can I become one of these innovators. And so, yeah, innovation for me is a big inspiration. So, yeah. Ooh, that's a good question. As a kid, I watched a lot of movies with my dad, and he watched a lot of action movies, so I would watch a lot of the stuff with him. I would say RoboCop was probably one of my all-time favorites. That one was really interesting to see a cyborg, a very cool-looking cyborg who was a really cool cop. Over the Top, The Predator was another good one that I loved. There's so many of them. It's really hard to pick my favorite, but ones that stand out to me, I think that are very memorable to me, was Predator and RoboCop. Then I got into the martial arts stuff too, so that was a lot of fun too. 36 Crazy Fists was one of my favorites too. That was a really fun one. Drunken Master with Jackie Chan was another good one. Once Upon a Time in China with Jet Li. A lot of the martial arts stuff was like, it became a thing for me. So I was like collecting a ton of stuff, watching a lot of this stuff. And then as an adult, kind of weird because now I went from live action to cartoons because I got more creative and inspired by a lot of creativity. So in the art. So I would say as an adult, I think Kung Fu Panda is probably one of my all-time favorites. The whole series of that and How to Train Your Dragon, I think were also two that were very, very inspirational. Being able to see dragons drawn in such a weird, dynamic, and really cool, fun-looking style, I think was really cool. The storyline with the Vikings was really cool. Kung Fu Panda and the typical bumbling fool turned hero is really a cool story. I thought that was really neat. And just more recently, I think Arcane on Netflix was really, really good. I think that's pretty much a masterpiece. I think that they did a fantastic job on that. I mean, hats off to those guys, man. That was insane. But yeah, it was really cool. I think those are probably my favorites at the moment. And I can't forget Akira. Akira's just my all-time favorite. I think I hold that one very, very high in my list of all-time favorites as Akira. Ghost in the Shell would be another one that would be another ideal. Perfect Blue would be another one, would be another psychological thriller that was really good. So I have a lot of them. There's so many cool ones that I got to watch as a kid and as an adult and a young adult. It was really cool. So I got inspired by a lot of this stuff. So a lot of it kind of resonates with me. So I would say those would be my favorites. Wow, comfort food. Ooh, I love food. So I would say comfort food for me, if you're asking the Cali me, I would say Mexican food. I dig all styles of Mexican food in California. That was, you just can't beat that. LA food is just hands down delicious. But one of my absolute favorites is eating Nicaragua food. I'm from Nicaragua, so like anytime I get to eat some queso frito and some gallo pinto, I'm the happiest camper in the world. With a little cacao or some pinolillo, it's all good for me. I'm in heaven, so it's all good. But New Jersey, Carlos, I think pizza down here is probably the absolute best. The crust here is amazing. Pretty much anywhere you go, the pizza's pretty delicious. I'm sure there's some pretty cool spots around here, but pizza down here is hands down probably my favorite comfort food here, because it's a little different than California's pizza for sure. And yeah, I think that's probably my comfort food for there. On occasions, I would say pho. Whoa, that's yeah, I think one of the ones that stands out the most to me that even to this day, I would love to have worked on is, I'm going to take it back a little bit, but I would have to say Earthworm Jim. As a graffiti artist, ex-graffiti artist, I think Earthworm Jim was hands down one of the ones that just took the cake. It was just bizarre. It had amazing characters. They looked awesome on walls. They looked great on t-shirts and product. It was so fun. I think that that whole style was just amazing. And I think that for me as an artist, I just felt like that kind of drove a lot of my early designs, style and or aesthetics of my work was Earthworm Jim. And I think that I would hands down would love to go back in time and go to Doug and be like, dude, let me work on this game with you, and or this whole series with you, because it was such a weird and amazing adventure game with a lot of cool, almost puzzle-like levels, and I mean, it made you think, and it was just the wackiness of it, that the cow and the crazy dog, and it just, everything just felt so surreal. And I think that game itself really broadened like everything when it came to video games, because before it was like, Super Mario Brothers, you had this little dude hitting the bricks, but when the Earthworm Jim came out, it was just like revolution. I mean, to me, it just blew my mind. I was like, what the heck is this? And so to this day, I think Earthworm Jim, I hold it very high as far as games that I would love to have worked on. Yeah, I mean, that'd be fantastic. I think God of War would be another one. God of War would be a cool one. So shout out to Santa Monica Studio. Yeah, I think it's, there's a lot of cool games out there that would be definitely fun to work on. But I think, yeah, Earthworm Jim would probably be the one that I would hold to my top of my list. So my inspirational moment came when one of them, actually, there's so many of them, I can't even, I mean, there's I'm sure I can pull a whole bunch of them, but one that stood out the most to me was when I started this club called the Artist and Social Club, and it was a club that brought industry professional friends of mine. We drew together all the time on weekends. We came over my house, I came over there, so we would just draw together. And the idea was to just bring professional artists that were already hanging out to work with artists that are students and mentor kids. So we were able to bring that together, and I was able to, make it a recurring thing on a monthly basis, and it was really, really good and fun and inspirational to a lot of the kids that were part of the mentorship part of the club. And then when Noman School of Visual Effects in Hollywood found out about what we were doing, they teamed up with us and allowed us their hangar that they have at that school to bring the club there and actually have a bunch of my friends and colleagues and industry professionals to come and speak to the club and to the students and inspire them, and it was really interesting because when I was on stage, I was there with my peers, friends, colleagues of the industries and heroes of mine that I've admired their work for many years, sitting on the stage with me and just looking at the students and everyone in the crowd. It inspired me because I never thought that my club would be at this point, and it inspired me so much to realize that with determination, consistency, anything could be possible. And to bring that many people into one place to be inspired, it was what inspired me. And I think that that's what I've always now continue to chase is bringing people together. And I think that's one of the inspirations that I have, that I hold dear. And I think that's one of the ones that stand out very much to me. So, yeah. Oh, I would say I'm a huge music fan. I love music. I think it's very inspirational. I definitely need to have music to inspire me. And depending on what I'm working on too, I cannot work in silence because it drives me nuts. But I think having music there to just vibe to create with, I think it definitely is. It goes hand in hand. It's very, very inspirational. Ooh, an ideal creative setting for me would be probably starting with maybe a horror film, working in the horror genre, designing new characters. I think the iconics like the slashers, Freddy, Jason, Mike Myers, Ghostface, even Trick or Treat Sam. I think being one of the newer ones, I would like to be a part of maybe the early developments of a new horror movie. I think that would be an ideal creative setting. I think would be cool to work as a conceptual designer in one of those films. So I think that'd be pretty fun.